that Kyle goes with.
So Shane, we've come across this injured zebra. What subset of a stallion? Mare, that's it. Having a mare. She's got quite a gash on her front left leg, but we're just trying to work out what it's from. Almost certainly it's not from a predator. From the looks of it, she's fallen because she's got a couple of smaller cuts on her hip and on her back left leg. If it was a predator, you'd most likely see gashes on her flank from claws. I mean, the only predator's really going to have a crack at her is lions, and that injury is very unlikely to have occurred from a lion attack. So most likely, well, it might have been caused by lions if she was running from them, and she might have tripped and fallen. Well, actually, hang on, if that happened, they probably would have got her. So if she was down on the ground, so most likely just in the darkness running for whatever reason and ran into something she didn't see. It's hard to say, but that's the most likely scenario. Zebras will fight, and stallions will in fact bite each other's tails off. They've got very sharp teeth that enable them to do that. So more often than not, if you find a zebra with a missing tail, it was another zebra that did it, and not a predator. But in this case, you don't generally find females fighting aggressively enough to inflict this kind of wound, and I don't think zebras are equipped with the armory to inflict this type of wound either. So most likely it was a fall, she had a stump in the darkness or something like that. Hard to say. I mean, these are the mysteries of the bush that we try and work out from whatever evidence is available. But yeah, she seems in fairly good health. The problem for her is that because she's got a bit of a limp, she's going to stick out of the group, and if a lion pride does happen along and catch a sight of her, she's automatically going to become the target. So for her sake, we hope that no lions pass by the area for a couple of weeks or however long it takes her to get better. This is the Ximungwe female. This is a leopard we know well. She is fast asleep in the boughs of a marula tree, looking very comfortable, very well fed, and she's chosen a position specifically that her stomach doesn't have to be resting on the branch. It's kind of sagging down, so it's a little bit more comfortable if it can hang loose, and she doesn't have to put any direct pressure on it because it's so full of impala meat. There is plenty of meat still there. I mean, leopards generally, when they feed, they'll start at the rump, where there's a lot of good meat to grab easily. That kind of gets them, what allows them to get the most benefit of the kill quite quickly. So if they are robbed, they've at least got some solid food in their bellies, and then they kind of move on to the rest of the carcass. And you can see how she's plucked it. So leopards are quite fussy eaters. They'll generally try and pluck the fur so they don't get a mouthful of it. So unlike lion prides that just kind of tear in and eat as much as they can as quickly as possible, generally because they're competing with each other, leopards, once they've hoisted a kill, they've got a bit more time to feed, so they can afford to be a little bit picky. And the great thing about this now is that it means that unless she drops the kill or another leopard comes and steals it, it means she's anchored here for a day or two, which means A, great sighting to return to, and B, a chance of seeing her cub. Doesn't look like the cub's here. It's probably just too young to be brought to a kill, but we're not far from where we know she's been keeping it. So if we're patient, maybe not right now, but in the next couple of days, we might get a chance to follow her back to the den and get her nursing the cub, and maybe even bringing it to the kill, because it's just starting to get to the age when it's going to start eating meat for the first time. So we hopefully have a couple of good days of viewing her lined up. Okay, it's 48 hours later. We've come back to where the Shmungo female had her impala kill. Last time we were here, there was no sign of the cub, and we thought maybe it was still at the den. Between now and then, other rangers have visited the site. They said she has actually brought her cub to the kill. So this is big news. This means the cub's finally starting to eat meat. She's actually made 2 kills. Behind us is a second impala. This is a different kill. The first one is in another marula tree about 50 meters that way. This is the second kill. It's early in the morning. We've just arrived and we can see the female off through the thick bush willow trees. We can't see the cub at the moment, but we're almost certain it is here. So we're just going to sit quietly and see what happens. Okay, we can hear the cub calling. She just moved into some thicker bushes. We think it's only about 30 meters away. We're just going to poke forward, see if we can get a view. And the hope is that she actually brings it back to the kill.
Yeah, FMV Shmungo females on site. +1 is in this area as well. Feeding eggs.
Okay, so she's rejoined the cub. The cub's still a little bit nervous. It hasn't seen any vehicles. It looks like the mother's heading back to the kill. She just comes straight past us. The cub doesn't want to come as close to us because it's not quite sure about Land Rovers yet. So it looks like it's just doing a little bit of a wider loop around through the bushes. I think our best bet from here is to head back to the kill and see if the mother goes up. We also don't want to kind of be in the way if the cub does want to come to the mother. We want to be slightly wider just to give it the freedom to join her again. So as wonderful as it is having a close encounter with an elephant like that, what this has done is effectively set the whole sighting back by about 20 minutes. The Shmungo female was literally leading the cub back to the kill. She'd done a bit of back and forth, the cub was nervous, she'd finally gone to get it, and we could see them coming through the bushes. And then suddenly the elephant came out, got between the two of them, and the cub's run the other way, the female's gone that way. Now the elephant's feeding directly between them still, so the cub was somewhere back down in the bushes. You could see that the elephant was smelling where the leopards had been, so it was a little bit agitated. Maybe it's got a calf nearby. But now that it's feeding right where the cub was, I think we're going to have to wait quite a while, because the Shmungo female is going to have to wait till the elephant goes, then she's going to have to come back, get the cub, then go back to the kill. So we're in for a bit of a wait here. I think what we might do is just let someone else come set it out. We'll go drive around, see what else we can find, and we come back a little bit later just to let the cub relax a bit and give time for the mother to take it to the kill. Well, the elephant cow that disturbed proceedings back in the thicket, we know where she came from. She's part of this herd here. We just bumped into as we were leaving the sighting. So, I mean, lovely to have a leopard and elephant, two of Africa's iconic species, in such close proximity. The Ximungwe female, she's back up the tree that has the first kill in it, and it looks like for now she has no intention of going to call the cub. So I think because of all the disturbance from the elephant, she's just going to let things rest for a while, and we'll come back later and see what's happening.
So often a large elephant bull coming down towards us can be a little bit unnerving. Because he's a pretty large bull and he is walking down the slope, sort of compensating for his weight. He's not necessarily approaching us with any malicious intention, but it's rather just him coming down the hill towards the water. As he got a little bit closer, we noticed that he is in must. There's an excessive dribble of urine staining the in-betweens of his back legs, and you can actually see the stream flowing. It's often that elephants in must are given a bad reputation. By sitting still and quietly, it's allowed him to approach us on his terms. Normally, elephant bulls can be quite relaxed and docile around us. As long as we give him a little bit of space and respect his desires and where he intends to go, we should be all right here. So we've come out early this morning and we are with the Plaque Rock female. She's got a impala hoisted in a marula tree. She's sitting up on a termite mound just behind us over there. What we're hoping for is that she's going to come down from the mound and potentially go up and feed on the kill. The kill looks pretty mangled and very messy. We think that she might have lost this kill to a hyena. Once the hyenas have sauntered off a little bit further away from the kill, she could have potentially come running in and stolen it. Luckily it's up there and it's safe, so she has the luxury of time and is able to feed on this when she pleases. Patience is a bit of a virtue. She's settled up in some grass about 30 meters from where the kill is. She seems pretty nervous. We know last week she had a kill not too far from here that was stolen from her by her mother, the Nkoveni female. So while we're sitting with the Plaque Rock female, we've heard some guinea fowls alarming, and we found the Nkoveni female and her 2 cubs. They're young, they're playful, but they are very vulnerable when they're moving around like this. If there's any prey around here, like impala, wildebeest, squirrels, francolin, they're going to alarm call at her, which may attract or alert other predators to her presence, and she doesn't want that with the cubs around, so she's very cautious, tentatively moving through these clearings. So there was a herd of impala up in front of them, and it almost looked as though the cubs got overly excited and ran around a termite mound trying to almost stalk these impala. Gone sauntering off down the road here, and looks like they're going to cross into Mala Mala. So we'll leave them alone. We don't want to put too much pressure on them and push them any further, so I think let's let it be there.